So how and when should you up your weight in the gym when you're lifting weights? This is a question I get asked a lot, and so I wanted to share my answer with you in case you are wondering the same thing. So first off, we're all at different parts of our fitness journeys, and what might be heavy for one person is light for another. That also goes to what weights to start out with. And additionally, there's also a limit to how much strength one can gain as well, or not gain. The more inexperienced you are at weightlifting, the more room you have to grow. And as you get more adept at strength training, it gets harder and harder to increase those weights because you've already maxed out so much of those gains that it gets incrementally more difficult at the end of that. But the good news is, if you are starting out, there is a lot of room to grow and a lot of gains to be made. And I also think it's important to understand the ideal target for repetitions. So a rep in a workout is how many times you're able to do that exercise in one given time frame, which is called a set. With each exercise, we typically have about 2 to 4 sets within that, and inside each set is a number of targeted reps. But there's actually some controversy over whether you should be focusing on a lower number of reps with heavier weights or a higher number of reps at a lower weight. Because there's a question of whether or not you're wanting to build strength, muscle, or endurance. There was a recent study of the literature on this stuff, and it found that while lifting heavier weights is better for strength building, there's actually no real target zone specific to each workout. So it's gonna be kind of a learning process for you to kind of understand what works the best for you. And then practically, not going super heavy on every lift is gonna make it so you reduce the chances of injuring yourself, and you also reduce overly fatiguing your muscles so that you can keep training more frequently. Because overall, and if we're looking to build strength and get in shape or lose weight, we're wanting to be able to make it to the gym regularly to do these things, and we don't wanna get in our own way. Understanding when you're ready to increase the weights that you're lifting is actually simpler than you might think it is. In general, we're gonna wanna be targeting as many repetitions as we can with proper form until we get to a level of you can't go anymore, also called failure. Failure is a great thing to do in strength training. The more failure you get to, the more your muscles grow because they want to fix that problem for the next time. If you're able to do 10 to 12 reps of a particular exercise with good form, you likely can add a little bit more weight. And if you're just getting started, I recommend just increasing the weights by 2.5 to 5 pounds if you can. We don't want to go overextend ourselves. The whole thing that's amazing about strength training is that it allows you to be better than yesterday and to focus on making those very small incremental changes that are going to have a big impact on your physiology and on your muscle growth and on your mindset. It's also important to note that you can't change and up the same amount of weight on all different types of exercises on all different muscle groups. What you can do for your shoulders is going to be different than what you can do for your chest. You want to make sure that you're looking at each exercise differently and paying attention to what is working for your body and not pushing yourself to the point of injury. And this is also why it's extremely helpful to track your workouts. It doesn't have to be in an app, but writing it down, doing whatever you need to do in order to pay attention to that. I use an app called Strong Fitness, and I can share the link to it below. I'm not paid by them at all. I just love it because I can track my workout. I can pay attention to how many reps I did, how many sets. I can track my total rest time and make sure that I have enough rest time in between. And then it also allows me to track my progress over time. I can pay attention to what my PRs are and what my 1-rep maxes are. And it helps me to progressively be better than yesterday with every single set that I do. There's a ton of apps out there also. I just like the Strong app. Now, if you are just getting started with strength training, it's gonna take a little bit of time to understand what your body can do, what your limits are, and learning, okay, am I actually getting to failure, or do I have a couple more reps left in the tank? Can I go further? If you have absolutely no idea what weight to do, pick one that feels light to you. Target 8 to 12 reps. If you're able to do that really easily, go up a little bit in the weight and keep going there and get to the part where you're actually not able to get to those 8 to 12 reps with good form. That is what the set is that's gonna be your top set. So typically I start off on the heavier lifts. After doing several warm-up sets, making sure that my blood's pumping and I'm ready to go, I will target one top set, which is at about 85% of my 1-rep max. And what that means is that if I was able to just do as heavy of a lift as I possibly could and get 1 rep, that would be my 1-rep max. So If I take that number and I take 85% of that, that's my top set. We should be able to do about 6 to 8 reps. It's gonna be hard, but you should be able to get about that. Then I'll do what I call a back down set. And what that is about 85% of my top set. And in these, I'm targeting about 8 to 12 reps. If I get more than that, then next time I know I can add more weight to that back down set, which also means I probably have a higher 1 rep max as well. And it's also important to note that the more strength training you do, the more protein you should be eating. To better understand how much protein and fat and carbs you should be eating in order to reach your goals, go and check out my video on how to calculate your macros, because that'll tell you all that you need to know. Like I said before, having a personal trainer or a coach to watch your form, show you how to do the exercises, and to monitor your progress will be really helpful if you're just getting started and you don't really know where to go. So for example, with my coaching clients, I give them training protocols that are tailored to what their goals are, and then we monitor how well they're doing at form, how hard are they pushing themselves, and then we up or lower the weight depending on their progress. I'll have a link in the description below and you can check out what my services are and see if it's a good fit for you. Above all else though, have fun with strength training. It rocks. It's such a fun lifestyle. You're gonna get so hooked, and it's so much fun to see how hard you can push yourself and what your body is capable of. So I wish you the best with your new adventure. Let me know if you have any questions on strength training in the comments below, and I will see you in the next video.